So the passage of electron between donor and acceptor will release this energy that will be generating a potential gradient across the mitochondrial membrane, and this will be pumping protons into the intermembrane space, producing the thermodynamic state which has the potential to do that, right? So the entire process is called the oxidative phosphorylation. Since this ADP is getting phosphorylated to ATP using electrochemical potential gradient establishing by the redox reaction. So redox reaction in a sense that electron transport chain. So yes, so this is exactly the thing which we have seen before. Now we'll come on detail. So this is the mechanism, or this is the pathway, mechanistic pathway of the mitochondrial electron transport. That is, these electrons from this NADH coenzyme Q reductors, this will accept an electron from other Krebs cycle and all. And this electron carriers will pass them to coenzyme Q. Actually, this coenzyme will be getting electron from complex 1 as well as complex 2. Complex 1 is nothing but this NADH coenzyme, and this complex 2 is actually succinate dehydrogenase. Okay, succinate dehydrogenase. So these two electrons will pass to cubiculon. Cubiculon is nothing but coenzyme Q. Okay, these two electrons will be passed, and from this complex 1 is nothing but NADH coenzyme Q reductors. This will be accepting electron from this Krebs cycle. But this Krebs cycle is the electron from Krebs cycle is carried here by this NADH. Okay, by this NADH, or NADH is the carrier here. NADH nothing but nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, right? Yes. And this, and then from complex 2. Complex 2 is nothing but succinate dehydrogenase. This succinate dehydrogenase and this complex 1 will pass electron to this coenzyme Q, which is the cubiculon. And from cubiculon, electron will be transferring to cytochrome B, BC1 complex, and from cytochrome BC1 complex to cytochrome C. From the cytochrome C to cytochrome C oxidase. Okay, this cytochrome C, from the cytochrome C, electron will be passing through cytochrome C oxidase, and this uses electron and hydrogen ions. This will be using electron or also hydrogen ions. Okay, hydrogen ions, and water is getting converted. Water is produced by reducing oxygen. Okay, this electron with oxygen and the protons, water is released. So this is the basic mechanism of this whole mitochondrial transfer. Also this water, then what? This here it is ATP synthase converting this ADP to ATP using oxidative phosphorylation. Okay. Now this electron transport chain in mitochondria, it is the site of this oxidative phosphorylation in eukaryotes. So this NADH and succinate is generated in citric acid cycle are oxidized, providing energy to power this ATP synthase. A succinate is where we have seen complex 2, which is succinate dehydrogenase, and NADH is actually the carrier of electron to complex 1. Okay, so these two are generated in their citric acid cycle. These are oxidized, providing energy to power this ATP synthase. Now, so this is the part chumma shown linear. So till here, this is all about mitochondrial electron transport. It's not so boring, or it's not so difficult. The basic thing that we should remember is these complex. Complex 1 is NADH dehydrogenase, then complex 2 is succinate dehydrogenase, and there is a coenzyme cubiculon to which these two electrons are passed. Then complex 3, which is cytochrome BC1 complex. Then from there to cytochrome C. Then from cytochrome C to cytochrome C oxidase. Okay. Then from cytochrome C oxidase, that electron along with proton, it will reduce water. So it will produce water by reducing oxygen. Yes. So next we will see some antioxidant enzymes which are important. Mainly, okay, we'll start with the topic antioxidant enzyme. We'll categorize them based on their activity and we'll see some few. So in this video, we'll see the mitochondrial electron transport chain. So roughly we have seen the processes involved in electron transport chain and how basically the electron transport. If you are not familiar with that, please refer the previous video. So now we'll see mitochondrial electron transport chain. Here, the electron transport chain is actually initiated by the, that in you, most of the eukaryotic cells, the mitochondria produce this ATP. And how this ATP is produced? It is produced by the products of citric acid cycle, fatty acid cycle oxidation, and amino acid oxidation, right? So, and this all takes place in mitochondria. So, in the inner mitochondria membrane will be having this electrons from NADH and FADH2, as we have discussed that these are from the respiration products, which is stored in its reduced forms, right? And this will pass through electron transport chain to oxygen, and finally, it will be getting reduced to water. So, basically, this is an enzymatic step of electron donor and acceptor, right? Each electron donor will pass its electron to more electronegative acceptor, and which in turn donate these electron to another acceptor, and this process will continues in a series until this electron is passed to oxygen. Okay. So why oxygen? Because it is the most electronegative and it is the terminal of electron acceptor, terminal electron acceptor in that particular chain. So it is